All right, everyone, we're starting off this video. I just wanted to show you, first of all, my latest addition to the collection. Fansidea.com. You can get great looking jerseys at a very good price. And unfortunately, the only flaw in this jersey, I'd say, is that they didn't do the shoulder patches. They don't do them. The shoulder insignia with the hammer and the axe. Otherwise, if it's not for that missing, this is the perfect mock-up. Striping the colors, all that kind of stuff, it's spot on. So yeah, fansidea.com. All right, let's get into this. My voice is still not 100%. I came down with a very severe case of bronchitis. It's going to take me a couple weeks to fully recover. So if my voice sounds odd, I apologize. Doing the best I can. A couple things that I want to address. The standings on the Fed website, while accurate as far as where everyone is, how many points they have, and stuff like that, the playoff seeding designation is all off. So I will be posting something later to give you a correct look, simplified look, of course, at who is in the playoffs, magic numbers, all that kind of stuff. Now, one team that the website says is in the playoffs and is not yet is the Port Huron Prowlers. All right, they helped their cause. They lowered their magic number down to 6. All right, 6 points is what they need to officially clinch a playoff spot. Probably happen next week. All right, the Port Huron Prowlers, they win 6-2. They get a goal early from Reggie Millette. Then things kind of bog down. Teams feel each other out, and then the second period happens, and Port Huron just takes over. Shots in this game, 15 aside in both the first and third period, but in that second period, it was 18-4 in favor of the Prowlers, and they score 3 goals in that period. I apologize for the lighting. Phone's acting up this morning. Anyway, so if you can see this, the Reed Cooper, he gets the win in goal for the Prowlers, stopping 32 shots. Ricardo Gonzalez stops 41 of 46 for the night in 58:09. There was an empty net goal late in the game. The game-winning goal was scored by Alex Johnson at 16:44 of the second period on the power play. Crowd of 1092 on hand. And congratulations to Matt Graham in this game. He came into this game tied with former teammate Dalton Jay for third all-time on the leading scorers list. All right, he is now all by himself in third place, third leading scorer all-time in Fed history as he gets 3 points last night. Congratulations to Matt Graham. He is, 71 points, I think, now? I got to double check. I think it's 71 points is behind Tyler Jurich. So if he decides to play another year, and the way he's been playing lately, he could end up number 2 all time. Nobody's touching Ahmed Mahfouz. There's a 300-point gap. But anyway, so there you go. Congratulations to Matt Graham. Congratulations to the Prowlers on the win. 25, 16, and 6. They are in third place. They leapfrogged the Wolves, and Motor City is now 14, 28, and 3. Their hold on that playoff spot is tenuous at best. 7 points up on the Venom, and they've got to figure out some way of getting wins. All right. Speaking of teams needing to figure out how to get wins, Moccasins start off strong. They've got tons of talent on that team, but this just goes to prove just because you have talent on paper doesn't mean you have the best team. Moccasins start strong but fall as Columbus doubles them up 6-3. Trevor Babin gets his first start in goal for the River Dragons and weathers a storm as the Moccasins pour on 19 shots and 2 goals early on. But then out of nowhere comes Ryan Hunter. He scores a natural hat trick for the River Dragons to give them the lead 3-2. Moccasins would tie, but then Columbus would close out the game. Excuse me. So yeah, Babin stops 32 of 35. Sean Coombe, um, great player, uh, great goalie, but he's overworked. And we have seen that over the last 20 games. He's just overworked. He's not having the effect that he had early this season. Um, so, need to work the tandem there. He stops 25 to 31. Not bad bounce than Kuhn. He's, again, he's done all he can, but he's overworked. Anyway, for the game, yeah, it is Justin McDonald getting 4 assists, a couple of those helping Ryan Hunter get that natural hat trick. Sturgeon scores the game-winning goal in the third period at 6:10 on the power play. Shots in the first period were 19 to 12 in favor of the Moccasins. That's when they took that early lead. It was 11 to 9 in favor of the River Dragons in the second, and 8 to 7 in the third. All right. Sorry, I got a break here and there for coughing spells. So yeah, crowd of 4,071 on hand. Good crowd, and yeah. So the River Dragons are now kind of stuck in that third spot. I think that's where we're going to end up finishing up for the season. Continental Division are 27, 12, and 4. Monroe, they have 12 points that they're behind Blue Ridge, and there's only 12 games left. The math does not look good in Monroe. Basically, if they do not win out, they're pretty much out of it. That's just the sad part of it. I mean, the magic number is pretty big, but Blue Ridge isn't slowing down that much, and Moccasins just aren't getting wins. So they are 19-9 and 19 and 6. All right, in this game, a couple of last place teams, but it was actually pretty good, pretty competitive, pretty entertaining. The Mississippi Seawolves end up with a 5-2 victory. They did get an empty net goal very late. The Dashers, they're playing better, but it's still not good enough. That's been the story of the year. Richie Perrant, he starts in net for the Seawolves and stops 42 of 44. Parker Rutherford, the goalie of record for the Dashers, stopped 36 of 40 in 57-16 played. The game-winning goal scored by Curtis Hanson, who had 2 on the night. He scored shorthanded at 9:22 of the second period, and that ended up being the game winner. A couple of goals by Quinn O'Reilly by the Dashers just wasn't enough. Look out, Mississippi now has a 3-game winning streak. First time all year. Yep, crowd of 1728. Watch the Seawolves, put that 3-game string together. They are now 9-34-3. They are locked into that last place spot, unfortunately. Dashers 1-40-3 in last place, 41 losses in a row. I don't know what more you can say about them. All right, let's keep this moving along. A big come from behind win. Again, I apologize for the lighting. I don't know why it's off this morning. Camera sensitivity is kind of weird. The hat tricks that came into Binghamton to play, it take an early 3-1 lead, and Binghamton figures out a way of coming back. The defense just clamps down, and yeah, it's a 4-3 comeback win for the Binghamton Black Bears. In a game that was very clean. There wasn't any silly business. There wasn't anything weird that happened during the game. Just a lot of good play. So we get to, we start off the bat. It's Connor Woolley scoring on the power play for the hat tricks, and the hat tricks power play the last 15 games has been really, really good. He scores at 8:27 to give Danbury the lead. Just a minute later, barely a minute later, it's Dan Stone, not Mark Stone. That would be really something to see Mark Stone playing in the Fed. It's Dan Stone scoring on a weird tip, something. Well, I mean, it was a shot from out at the point. Looked like the puck changed direction. However, it was Stone's goal. And so that ties things up after one. Shots were 15-9 in favor of Binghamton in the first. Second period, hat tricks. They're shorthanded. Doesn't matter. They get a goal from Gleb Van Durken, who's been playing fantastic this year. So shorthanded goal, well, that wasn't enough. Johnny Ruiz said, "Hey, I want a shorthanded goal too," so he gets one at 7:47. It is 3-1 in favor of the hat tricks at that point. Every goal scored by the hat tricks on the special teams, but two shorthanded, and so they were really taking it to the Black Bears early. Their forecheck was really, really good early, and Binghamton just somehow was able to make adjustments and break through that. It is C.J. Stubbs scoring at 13:20 to close the gap to 3-2. Late in the period at 16:50, Scott Romiker scores the game-tying goal. And so the teams go in the locker room. It's 3-3. Shots through two were 31-19 in favor of the Black Bears. In the third, it is Dakota Bond just taking over a play. 3:24. He scores on the power play, and he just put the team on his back, scored the clutch goal. And for the rest of the game, the defense on both sides really clamped down. Binghamton did get a number of shots, good shots on Connor McCollum, who played fantastic, by the way. He comes out on the short end of the stick with 4 goals given up, but two of them were on a weird kind of tip type of situation, traffic in front and all. He played very, very well. Meanwhile, on the other end of the ice, getting his first start in the league is C.J. Hapward, coming out of Suffolk University, and weathered the tough start. Again, was down 3-1 early, but the defense around him clamped down. He clamped down. He made a couple of really good kick saves late in the game to preserve the win. And so Danbury, they fall 27-12-8, still in second place, still a playoff spot clinched. They're probably going to end up being the number 2 seed, I would think. But yeah, it's kind of interesting back there with that second, third, fourth spot there. Binghamton is 41-5-1. Of course, they are looking for home ice advantage throughout the playoffs now. Crowd of 47-62 on hand. All right, this was a surprise of the night. And yeah, you just never know. The Venom come into town desperately needing points. Blue Ridge comes, back into their house, looking to just continue their recent good play, trying to create separation between them and Monroe so they can lock down that final playoff spot in the Continental. And yeah, surprise, surprise is how it ends up. Goaltenders are Raul Sharma, who, again, everybody keeps commenting about how this guy just has a perpetual smile on his face. He just enjoys playing. And that is part of the reason I think that he is playing well. Greg Hussey, who was doing the commentary for the Bobcats last night, said it. When you're just having fun and you're just enjoying the game, that's when you're going to play your best hockey as a goalie. So, yeah, Sharma's playing the best he can. And it's turning out all right. Connor Green ended up in goal for the Bobcats, of course, because Hussey is out in that 2-game suspension. So we start off early, and Michael Mercurio, he gets on the board first, just 3:57 in to put the Bobcats up 1-0. Daniel Martin doubles the pleasure later on, puts Bobcats up 2-0, 10:23 of the first period, and that's how the first period would end, 2-0 Bobcats. They were feeling pretty good about things, except for one fact. They were surrendering a lot of shots on goal and quality shots. So even though the Venom weren't on the board, they had gotten 17 shots on goal, and most of those were grade A shots. So Connor Green was getting tested early. In the second period, Lester Brown finally gets the Venom on the board. 10:30, the time of that goal. And at 17:54, Bobcats, they answer back. It's Radchenko scoring. So it's 3-1 now. But right before the period could end, it is Jonas Lias scoring for the Venom. That was 18-12. So it's 3-2. The lead is getting kind of tenuous, and shots on goal again 17 for the Venom. So there's 34 shots on goal through two. And you heard it in the commentary from Brett Wiseman and Greg Hussey. They're like, we can't surrender this many shots on goal. They were obviously worried, and with good reason. 12 shots on goal for the Bobcats in that second period. In the third period, it is Nathan Butler scoring. He ties it up. And yeah, that's when the whole momentum just shifted. You felt the energy drain from the arena. You just saw the way that the Bobcats played. They kind of tightened up on the stick a little bit. Jacob Wolf does get the Bobcats back up at 11-15. That makes it 4-3 at that point. But kind of a fluke play. Denis Zajac, he sends a slapper wide, and it kind of just bounces weird and ends up in the goal. And so that ties things up again, 4-4, and we go into overtime. And again, you could hear the commentary. They were worried in the overtime. It's 3-on-3, of course. Bobcats look to set up on the blue line with a east-west pass. It's picked off by Danila Belov. He goes all the way down, backhands a puck past Green, and that was it. So the Venom end up picking up 2 points. They get the overtime win, 5-4, out shooting the Bobcats 45-37. And yeah, Raul Sharma did just enough to keep his team in it, keep them competitive, and he gets the win, saving 33 of 37. Connor Green saves 40 of 45. So yeah, Belov had that game-winning goal and an assist. Nathan Butler also with a goal and assist. And for the Bobcats, well, they got balanced scoring. They got a lot of just one-goal scorers. Hunter Godmere, he had 2 assists. Jacob Wolf and Michael Mercurio were a couple that had goals. But yeah, it just didn't go to plan. And so they'll regroup. They'll meet again tonight. And Bobcats will try and figure out how to get back on the winning track. They're not in a bad spot. They're solidly in 5th in the Continental, 22-17-6. The Venom improved their situation. They're 11-26-3, now just 7 points behind the Rockers. So it's going to come down to the wire for that final playoff spot in the Empire Division. Crowd of 1285 on hand. This game, well, Carolina has proved one thing. If they have a bus breakdown, that just seems to fire them up and cause them to play better or something, because they went into Watertown. Once they finally got off the side of the road and got into Watertown, they just took it to the Wolves, 7-1, and this game was over early. Zach White scored at 3:26. Cangelosi counter, he adds to the lead, just 16 seconds later. Roman Kramer scores at 10:14. That was the end of Brendan Colgan's night, who started in goal for the Wolves. Just 10:14 played, 3 goals surrendered on 8 shots. So in comes Anton Borodkin. I'm getting Van Durken and Borodkin messed up in my mind. All right, so Zach White scores again at 13:04. It's 4-0. Meanwhile, Boris Babic is making a couple of really big saves down at the other end. He had himself a great game, stopping 32 of 33 on the night. In the first period, finally, Chase Tabari gets on board for 18:40 for the Wolves, but that was all they were going to be able to muster. Second period, it's Gus Ford scoring at 4:28. He scores again at the 9:27 mark of the third. And Zach White gets his hat trick at 17:54 of the final period. Shots were 37-34. Carolina just, they got out to that big lead and they didn't look back. So, yeah, we have Gus Ford getting 2 goals and 3 assists. Roman Kramer, a goal, 4 assists. Zach White, a hat trick and an assist. Joe Kennedy had a couple of assists. So, yeah, big night for a few of the Thunderbirds. Boris Babic only letting that 1 goal in by Dabari. Borodkin, he ends up saving 20. I'm sorry. I had that backwards. It was Borodkin that started. Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens when you write things in yeah. Anyway, Borodkin, yeah, he stops 5 of 8 in 10-14. And then Colgan comes in, didn't have much more luck. He had 25 saves and 29 opportunities in 49 plus minutes. Crowd of 871 on hand. The Wolves fall to 4th place. After their hot start, they've been a 500 club all year. So this is the worst that they can fall. They can't fall beyond 4th place, but I'm thinking, they'd probably like to get in 3rd place if they could. We'll see. Carolina, they had clinched a couple weeks ago, clinched their playoff berth. They just continue tuning up for the playoffs. They are now 34-8-4. Watertown 25-18-3. Final game of the night. Yes, it's not marked. It's not designated. Nobody said anything. I had Mateen sending me a message late. Did we clinch tonight? Yes, you did. Athens clinches a playoff spot with the victory 4-1. This was a game in which Athens just took over about midway through the first period. And Baton Rouge just didn't have any answers offensively. Goaltenders William Lavalier for the Athens Rock Lobsters. It was Bailey Stevens in goal for the Zydeco. Alexanian scores first at 3:57 to put the Zydeco up early, but it's Orca Weisblatt answering just a minute and 1 second later. And then Felipe Virgili scores at 6:08 on the power play. That was the game-winning goal right there. Garrett Milan would also score on the power play at 4:18. And Kaysen Gallant would add a goal in the 3rd period. 4:37 time of that goal. He's got 29 goals. Great rookie performance by Kaysen Gallant. And he's been overlooked all year. With some of the other rookie talent that has come into the league, Gallant, he would be one of my picks or possible picks for Rookie of the Year. Excuse me, sorry. So with this game, there wasn't really a whole lot of action in between. It's a very tame game, but Athens is very methodical, goes out, does what they need to do. They clinch that playoff spot. They are in 2nd place in the Continental Division, 95 points. They are officially in the postseason. So for this game, Virgili has a goal and 2 assists. Milan, a goal and an assist as well. Shinkarik and Gakarev also have 2 assists each. Lavalier, 23 shots on the night, and he turns aside 22. Stevens, 23 saves in 27 opportunities. Crowd of 35-98. So Baton Rouge, they've been struggling offensively lately. That's been their big Achilles heel. And they are in 4th place. They're going to be in the playoffs, but are they going to be able to hold on to the 4th place spot, or are they going to switch with the Blue Ridge Bobcats? Hard to say at this point. They are 25-13-6. Athens improves to 34-7-3. So there you go. Again, later on today, I will post a quick picture of the actual standings and playoffs participants so far. I'll try and mark magic numbers as well for the remaining teams that are in playoff spots but haven't clinched yet. So there you go. Very interesting night. Thank you for bearing with me again. It's going to be a couple weeks before I'm back to 100%. Doctor said I was very lucky this did not turn into pneumonia. So, yes, I'm blessed, but it's a long road to recovery. All right. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for all your support. I appreciate all the well wishes, the happy birthday wishes this last week. Thank you so much. That really made my week. And yeah, we will be back here tomorrow covering tonight's games. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you're following me, liking me here, and subscribed, all that kind of stuff. Also, make sure you're following me on Facebook and the Flash Audio Network, which will be getting back underway this next week. All right. Thank you so much. We'll catch you soon.